Hello Internet, it's Eric, Jedi Skills 173, Puri, 3FG Inc., whatever my name is, wherever you see this. I wanted to make a video update since I haven't blogged in a while about some things I've been working on. More importantly, one thing that I made in the last couple days. Lately I've been thinking of ways to add value to my RPG project that I'm working on. And one of the things I thought of is a way to kind of tie together some of the classes I've been taking in college for the past few semesters. So over the summer I took a database management class for SQL. Didn't actually install the software, but I got a B+ in the class, so it wasn't too difficult for me. But in any case, from all the stuff I learned in that, I want to apply it to my game. So I thought up a way of using an online database to store save games for every single person who buys my RPG, regardless of what platform it's on. So let's cut to a demonstration of exactly what I'm talking about here. Alright, so here's a quick overview of how the system works. So you're playing on your platform of choice, you finish playing on it, and then you send off your save data to the site through this PHP script. That writes to an SQL table, and then it's stored on there. And if you're retrieving it on a different device, like you're going from iPad to PC, you send off the save, it gets saved, then you load up the PC version, you send a request for the save data, so it goes off again, goes to the PHP script, which goes to the SQL, it grabs the data from this table, sends it back to the PHP script, which goes back to the PC build, and you can continue running. So let's see this in practice. This is a basically a test program that I put together for this. So you can see here that there's local data, server data, and server raw data, but actually disregard the server data because I didn't tie that stuff together. So let's autofill data 1, which will mean that name 1 is equal to dataset 1, int is 42, float is 1.3456. So let's go to this remote server here, and then let's get the server data. And when I click this button, you'll see the server raw data come in, and it says dataset 1 and all that's the same. So let's go back to the top menu here and autofill data 2. So the local data is now dataset 2, float is 87, and that's still the same, and the server data is the same. So let's go over here and let's post this local data to the server. So it just sends that off, and then let's grab that server data again, and now this should change. Yep, that changed to what we just did. So after posting that data on the PC, or this is the Mac version I guess, let's go over to the iPad version here, which is also running, and let's grab that server save data. So it should say, once I click this, let's get that server data. Yep, there we go. Dataset 2, 87, 75, 36. So let's also type in something unique. So name to keyboard, and then let's go blah 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 blah. Done. And we can see here local data, name 1, blah 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 blah. And there's nothing in the name 1 field, and int and float are both 0. So let's go to the remote server and then post this. So it should just have nothing, blah 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 blah, and 0 0 once we grab this data again. So let's grab it, and there we go. So that's the system fully working between all the platforms, and I'm very glad it does work. So after you've seen the kind of prototype I've built here, I want to tell you what exactly this can be used for. So first off would be network save, transfers, and sync between devices. And what I mean by that is there's going to be different versions for different platforms. So the PC and the Mac will have a build of the game. iOS devices, meaning iPhone and iPad, will have a build. Ideally Android should have a build, as long as I can get my hands on the the exports for that. What I mean here is that you can start playing a game for a few hours on like the PC, and then say you have to go to school or something, but you have a lot of spare time, but you won't have access to a PC. So once you're done with your PC session, you can go to an option in-game to sync your save game to the database online. And then you just go over to your iPhone, you launch the game in the iPhone, and you tell it to sync your save game to this device. So it will connect off to the database, grab that save data from the PC version, and put it on the iPhone version. And then you can just continue right where you left off on the iPhone or iPad or whatever. So that's the main purpose for doing stuff like this. Another thing that I can do with this system is save and character imports. So once you complete episode 1 of the RPG, you can take that end game save data, put it in a secure location in my database, and then once the next episode rolls around, you can import that final save data into the next version for unlocks, or maybe you keep the money that you got or whatever. So I'm still figuring out exactly how that will work, if at all, but the capability is certainly there. And then bonus unlocks, because you have to make an account on this website for all this to work. I can keep track of what games you actually own. So if you own like episode 1 and episode 2 and like got the DLC or something for episode 1, then you've unlocked a download link to the soundtrack or extra art or like a side story or something. So I can do stuff like that because I can keep track of who owns what and unlock stuff accordingly. So still to do for stuff like this, I need to have usernames and passwords obviously for login, because right now this is working just for me, but it'll have to be expanded so that lots of people can use this system. Security, I need to make sure that all of this is pretty secure for each user. Backups, so it won't actually be deleting saves off of any devices. It will only be overwriting, and that's it'll pull down the data into a second one, and then if all that matches up and everything's good, then it will overwrite the stuff on the device. But if you sync the save to the internet, it won't just delete it off the device. It'll still be there. So if something does go wrong, you'll still have your local data. Let's see, and then web pages for account management, obviously all that web design stuff, not too hard, but just takes a long time to do. So that's all that. I really wanted to make this a value added to my game instead of making it something exclusive to only some people. I just wanted everybody who gets my game to be able to take advantage of something like this, because I plan for this game and eventually the series to be quite long. So if you, I'm just enabling my players to be able to play it as much as they want without having to be in front of a computer to play it, or only be tied to the iPhone version or whatever. You'll still have to buy the Steam/Mac versions or the Android version separately, but the pricing won't be prohibitive. So maybe like $5 for each version. So $10 will give you like a PC and the iOS versions. And by the way, that also works that if you get the iOS version, you also get it for the iPad. So these are the same exact builds. So if you like to play at home on your iPad, but you leave it at home when you're going somewhere, then you can sync the save file to your iPhone and continue playing on here. So even if you don't get the PC versions, it'll still be interchangeable between devices like this. So that's the whole reason why I'm doing it. I hope you like what you see. Leave a comment if you have suggestions or just comments about it. That's about it for this update, so thanks for watching.